Hi my friends, welcome back. So today's practice is going to be a little different than what we've been doing. We're not going to get off the mat and move and sweat and practice asana. Rather today we're going to introduce a little meditation into our practice. I know that meditation can be a little strange, maybe a little intimidating if you've never practiced it or if you're just getting into your meditation practice. I know I can speak for myself and probably a lot of people out there that when I first started, I found it to be so difficult. I felt out of my element. I really did not like sitting in silence with everything that was going on up here. I felt like just going to my mat and doing yoga there, practicing asana was a lot easier. And it seems like it would be harder, right, to go into all these crazy poses and breathe and move and sweat. But I find that it's a little bit easier because when you're doing that, it's easier to disconnect from everything that's happening off of your mat because you're so focused on your breath and getting into these poses and holding the poses and focusing on not dying in your practice. Whereas when you come to sit in stillness, on the surface, it seems so simple. You're just sitting here in peace and quiet, right? It's not so much the case. As humans, we tend to repress a lot of things and push it under the rug because it's easier to pretend like it didn't happen or not sit with it than it is to actually process our emotions, right? So in meditation, a lot of shit comes up. A lot of things, maybe you could be sitting there, something that happened 5 years ago comes up that you're sitting with, and now you're like, well, what do I do? It's cool. We practice meditation so that we can see all of these things come up and release them over time. Right now, with everything going on in the world, there's a lot of emotional turmoil and a lot of things happening within our work stability, with our families. Everything under the moon is happening. That's a lot to deal with, right? So I feel like everybody could use a little meditation. So you don't need anything but yourself. I've got a little meditation stool. You more than likely don't have this at home, but if you do, awesome. If not, grab a pillow. You can lean up against a wall. I like to have one behind me just so that I have something to have my back so I don't have to focus as much on keeping a tall spine. I can have a little support, a little bit more comfortability. Is that a word? I don't know. It is today. Anyway, if you don't want to sit, you can lay down. You can get cozy in your bed. Just find somewhere that you can get comfortable and start to disconnect. There's no distractions around you, nothing that's going to keep it a little bit more difficult to really check out. I would suggest if you can, go practice outside. It feels amazing to be in nature and connected to that. If you're sitting on the earth, you could even put your hands in the grass, feel that connection. But for the purpose of today, I'm cozied up in the studio, which is great. So get comfortable, get cozy, find a place to set up. And then once you get there, whether you're in your seat or you're on your back, let's start to settle in. So right away, before you get any concern into your breath and what's going on, let's just check out our physical body, right? So get out any wiggles you need to. You could rock back and forth on your hips. If you're on your back, you might walk your shoulders underneath you, find a little more space. Just taking this opportunity to move and get out any of that energy that you need so once we get to our practice, you can really settle in. Good, then as you find a comfortable position, I'm going to invite you to start to disconnect from everything around you. If you can, we'll close our eyes. That's a little bit too much today. You can always just soften your gaze to a point in front of you, maybe on the floor, or if you're on your back, you can gaze up to a point on the ceiling. Might even be nice to soften your gaze, get a little cross-eyed, bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. That's nice to have a really solid focus point so that you're not distracted with everything around you if you don't close your eyes. Cool. So we're getting comfortable in our seat. We're starting to turn off the visual stimulation around us, getting ready for our practice. Good, so right away, let's start to check out. Throughout this practice, even now you might be a little distracted. You might have thoughts of what the weekend holds for you. If you're still working, maybe you have some stuff to get done today, tomorrow. If you're at home with your kids, your family, that's work too. There's a lot going on right now. So whatever is on your agenda for today, tomorrow, next week, let that stay in the future. Whatever the future holds for you, let it hold it right now. Let yourself disconnect from that and really start to become present in this moment. That can be a little difficult within our practice. You might start to really get going and then, oh, a thought pops up in your head of, oh, what am I going to cook for dinner? Or what am I going to do with this? You know, allow yourself to see that and let it go. It's nice to have a little visualization of our thoughts as clouds. So as a thought rolls in, just simply be aware of it. You can see it there. You can see it floating by. Acknowledge it, but don't engage with it. Just as quickly as that thought rolls in, allow it to pass. Allow it to leave your mind. You can come back to it later. So as we're starting to clear up the sky of our mind, start to check in with our posture. So bringing your awareness down to the base of your spine, whether you're on your back or in a seat. Start to take a scan up. So as slow as you can, move one vertebrae at a time, coming up your back. As you get to a new vertebrae, we'll pause. Imagine circling your breath around this notch, creating a little more space, a little more height, clearing out any of this tension, tightness that you might be holding. Getting a little more room for love to settle in. As you continue to move up your spine, maybe you find that begin to find a little lift through your chest, through the crown of your head, creating a little more ease in your spine. Good. As you reach the top, we'll move back down, coming to the front of our body. So now bringing your awareness to the muscles in your face. Notice if you are holding any tightness. Could look like clenching your jaw or furrowing your brow, pursing your lips. Just as we did with our spine, see if you can start to allow a little softness to trickle in. If you need to, you could wiggle your jaw side to side, maybe raise and lower your eyebrows. Just get those muscles moving so that you can allow them to settle, to relax. Good. Let your mouth start to open. So bottom jaw falls away from your top. So that nobody's here to see you or judge you. You can make a funny face. If you see me, it's cool. It's all good. We'll wiggle our jaw back and forth. Take big circles. Look really crazy here. Let all that space into the hinges of your jaw. You might even let in a deep breath through the nose and out of the mouth to physically release that tightness. Good. Then let your lips start to come back together, but keep your bottom teeth away from your top. And slowly your tongue will settle away from the roof of your mouth and find its home behind your bottom teeth. Good. So now that we have cleared our minds and settled our body, start to check in with our breath. Just noticing what's going on today. We're in the middle of allergy season, so maybe your nose feels a little stuffy. Maybe it's hard to find a deep breath. So whether this is the first time you've become aware of your breath today or in the past week or a month, just take a couple of cycles of breath to really be present here. So as you start to find your own natural rhythm of breath, listen to the sound of it. Let it be a little loud here. As you inhale, imagine the wave of an ocean starting to roll up. There's this nice pause at the top as that wave crests, and then as you exhale and release, it crashes back down and pulls out to sea. Deep inhale, feel that wave start to come in. And then exhale, let it go. we'll take a couple rounds here before we move on, just really listening to the sound and the depth of your breath. And as you sit here, you could take a couple more rounds if you need it, but if you're ready, let's see if we can deepen our breath. So inviting that breath to start to seep into your belly. As you inhale, imagine a balloon inflating, so really fill up in your belly. And as you exhale, let that balloon deflate, really empty out your stomach. You might find a soft pull of your navel to your spine. Inhale, you could take a deeper breath in, let your belly fill, start to feel your ribs expand. And then as you exhale, your ribs will knit together, belly pulls in, really let all of that air empty out. You can find the deepest breath yet, so inhale to your belly, ribs, up into your chest. Find a little pause at the top. That wave is peaking here. Know that you're safe. See if you can sip in a little more air. And then open your mouth, release that. Take that again. So inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Pause at the top. Maybe sip in a little more air. And then exhale, chest, ribs, belly. 2 more rounds at your own pace. Try to envision this breath washing from the base of your spine all the way up. And then it comes back down, starting to soften all the muscles in your spine. We'll start to invite in a little mantra, a little intention for our practice. So as you inhale, think of the word I. As you exhale, think of the word surrender. Inhaling, I. Exhale, surrender. Continue with this pattern, inhaling to bring awareness to the self with I. And as you exhale, really allowing yourself to surrender. So whether that is physically releasing tightness or tension in your shoulders, your back, maybe you start to find a deeper surrender here, letting go of any anxiety, guilt, fear. Anything that's been weighing heavy on your heart, see if you can start to loosen that grip, release that stress, and begin to surrender. Inhaling I. Exhale, surrender. Take about 3 more rounds with your breath here. Being really still and intentional with your breath. As you finish your next exhale, hold that air out. Again, know that you're safe. Sitting in stillness, no breath, no thought. Good. Take a deep inhale. Let that air be refreshing. Fill yourself back up. And open your mouth, let it go. I'm going to practice a little alternate nostril breathing, some Nadi Shodhana. If you've watched the previous practices, then you might know. If you need a little help, try to let the sound of my voice guide you here. If you need to, you can take a peek at the video. That's what I'm here for. But if you can, try to keep yourself in this shut-off space. Just listen to my cueing. Lift your right hand, then bring your pointer, middle, and ring finger towards your palm. Let your thumb and pinky stand out. Good. We'll bring our right thumb to our right nostril and gently close it off. Starting with an inhale through your left nostril. Fill up. Hold at the top. Let your pinky shut off this side. Open up through your right and exhale. Good. Inhale through the right. Close it off. Open through the left to exhale. Inhale. Switch and exhale. Good. We'll take about 5 more rounds each side. Be really intentional with your breath here. This alternate nostril breath is great to slow down our heart rate, to lower our blood pressure, keep everything nice and balanced. So especially if your allergies are getting to you, this is a great breath to try and reset. Find a little ease and balance. Good, so we're taking one last inhale. And we'll end up back on our right side. So let that air go. And then let your right hand float back down to your knee, coming back into the seat. Noticing if the quality of your breath has changed at all. And just sitting with this new energy that's buzzing in your body. Inhaling I. Exhale, surrender. Good, so mind is clear, body is nice and still. You started to find a nice, easy rhythm of breath. You could continue with any of your breathing practices, belly, ribs, chest, and back down. Maybe find that alternate nostril breathing again. Just wherever you are, continue to stay focused on your breath. Maybe inviting in that mantra, I surrender. We'll have a little time to play and practice on our own. So for a couple moments here, allow yourself to stay in this place of softness, of ease and surrender. You can stay with that mantra, I surrender. If anything else comes up that you'd like to breathe with, allow yourself this moment to explore and to play. Again, if any thoughts arise, allow yourself to release those. Let that cloud float by and then dissipate. You can always come back to it. For now, let it stay in the future. Allow yourself to stay in the present. For the next moment, really allow yourself to feel grounded, and to feel safe. to become aware of the sound of your breath again. Hearing that ocean wave pull in and swell, and then softly crash and pull back to sea. Sit here for 3 more rounds of breath. 3 final opportunities to allow yourself to surrender. Gently begin to pull your awareness now to your physical body. Scanning now from the crown of your head all the way down your spine, legs, and toes. You can stay in whatever position you're at. Just gently begin to open your eyes, whatever point they land on, let them stay there for a moment. Keeping the tissue around your eyes nice and soft to begin to allow all of the color, everything in this physical space around you start to come back into your awareness. Good, wherever you are, stretch your arms out and then reach up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Awesome. And we'll pull our hands back to our heart to close out our practice. Thank you all for giving yourself a few moments to play, to be at peace, and to surrender. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I hope that you all were able to find a little moment of peace and clarity and check out from all the crazy shit that's going on in the world right now. If anything came up in your practice or if you noticed something, I'm super interested to hear about it. For example, if I go deep into a meditation practice, I notice that I start to physically feel that ocean breath, like my body will start to rock as if I'm on a ship. And I can sit there for however long and feel that. And I'm not saying that you might feel that right away. That took me forever. Maybe today you weren't even really able to disconnect, and that's totally okay. As within anything that we do in our life, meditation is a journey, and you have to practice it, and the more attention and more time you give into it, the easier it becomes. So wherever you're at today, I hope that this was a great reset for you. I hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care.